I got a new link.
Great. I didn't do a countdown. I don't think you need it.
Oh,
Hi. If you
hi
joined,
everyone.
thank you for being here. This was very impromptu, very out of notice. Oh, by the way, we have somebody else here. Let me add this person to the stage as well. Hi, Joey.
Hey, hey.
Oh, hey Joey, welcome to the
How you
stream.
doing?
Doing all right.
So I realized this is a very impromptu. We didn't give anybody any notice. This was not scheduled. So what happened was a developer had questions about how to integrate FastAPI and Auth0. And since this morning, me and Juan have been putting together on a sample code to share this with that developer on Twitter. Thank you, by the way. We love to receive these kind of questions on Twitter or whatever other social network you follow us. Twitter, LinkedIn, we love it. And the question was how to integrate Auth0 and FastAPI using Jinja, which is basically the templating language we use for things like FastAPI, Flask, and so on. And after that, we kind of realized we could have started doing this on a live stream because it could be really helpful for other developers doing FastAPI stuff. And so here we are. Welcome. And normally at this time, every week on Wednesdays, me, Joey, and Juan get together to talk about the content we are doing for Python, questions from developers, and how we're going to help other developers. So we thought, well, why not take this opportunity and build stuff live? And here we are. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I have no idea if anyone's watching. If you are watching, please say hi in chat. We love to talk to you, to see you there. And well, thank you so much for joining us. So this is going to be a little bit fun because we haven't done this ever, to be honest, like building something from scratch live. Well, it's not from scratch because we did a bunch of the code already, but continue the work that we did earlier this morning and going to do it live. And today, hopefully, one won't drop from the call while we share the screen with VS Code live share. Fingers crossed. And hopefully everything will go well.
So far seems to be working.
I've been talking on and on. Hopefully, this is enough time for people to join. I guess it's easier if I share my screen, Juan. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let me make sure that I have everything configured on VS Code on my side.
We didn't prepare anything, but look, today I came all prepared.
Oh my God, that's a gray mug. It's from Brazil.
Yeah, look at that. And they have a football player and everything. Though I'm from Argentina, I still support Brazilian football.
I feel represented. That's great. Okay, let's do this. Should we share this screen? Let me make sure that I don't have anything I shouldn't have open. Okay, I'm in focus mode.
Don't forget to cover all your secrets.
My secrets are covered, I guess. Yes. Yes, I guess this is it. Let's set the screen and hope to God nothing breaks. Share screen. Entire screen. Screen number 2. I guess this is the one. No, screen number 1 is the what? Well, not intended. Share.
And there we go.
And I'm going to hide this because I hate this little, oh, you're sharing your screen now. I know I am. So on this side, on the left side, I have a browser, which I'm going to keep small. It's just for us to check if things are running the way they should be. On this other side, I have my VS Code with the code we've been preparing. Our idea is to create the sample code, share it on GitHub, and share that with the developers that have the questions. And keep in mind, this is going to be a sample code, have some things that you probably want to see in production, but we are trying to make it as close as possible to a production-ready application. And I guess that's it, right? Is this big enough? I feel like it's not big enough. I feel like
it is a little bit small to read. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's fine. Also, maybe
Yeah,
you
I guess.
can close the file explorer so that you have a little bit more
Yeah,
space.
yes, that's what I was about to do. Exactly. So we are coding
Fantastic.
everything on the same main.py file.
Don't
We
do this
already
in
started.
production.
Don't do this in production. Please break your code down, uh, following a same structure, of things to the auth a folder, non-auth things to the non-auth folder, and separate things according to a sane way to do it, which it can vary depending on your project. But right now, because we want to make sure that it works before we share this code, and we want to make sure that we have documentation ready for people that might not be used to following Auth0 samples like the ones we do normally, we are trying to put the documentation and everything in the same place and to explain alongside with the code. This in the future time is going to probably be part of our developer resources, developer center, which is, for those that don't know, developer, if I can type, would be nice, .auth0.com. That's our developer portal. That's where most of our resources live and most of the things that we do, especially like we have the calendar for Auth0, we have the ambassador of the month, but we also have like community forums, the Zero Index newsletter, and other developer productivity tools. And we have how to get started with your favorite language. And look at that, Python. So right now, if you click on Python, you're going to see all the documentation for Auth0. But the one thing that we want are the resources, which is my favorite page from the developer portal. And it has a bunch of things like the guides, the sample codes, how to build your custom sample, and developer labs. So labs is usually what we do when we go for workshops and things like that. And one of the guides, actually, we have right now, we can filter out by type, and we can filter out by language. And I guess this is probably very small. So if you filter out by Python, you're going to see, for example, Flask authentication by example. Our idea is to have a FastAPI authentication by example as well. And in the near future, a Django authentication by example as well. So keeping that in mind, we are making this simple code because we are not only going to answer one question from one developer on Twitter, well, X, well, that social network that you know, but we are also going to use this eventually for a simple, a guide. Oh, I only have read only. Can I request? How can I request to have not read only access?
That's a good question. Something to find out live.
Yes.
Make read write. Look at that. I think I can
Okay.
do it.
Wait. I guess like,
Ah,
oh,
there
I
we
have
go.
hours now. I just realized that this was here and it's bugging me. So, anyways, so this is going to become a sample in our developer guides eventually. One, take it away, explain what we've done this morning and the things that we need to do now, which I guess
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
probably
So
the fun part.
yeah, so let me first start by saying so we are gonna build now is the authentication part of a web application, and the application is gonna be built using FastAPI. By authentication, we mean adding the capabilities to the web application to log in and log out your users. Um, but we also have support for authorization, and that is when you're building a FastAPI API, and you wanna user has a valid session through, like, for example, an JWT token. You can also do all that. And I'm going to be sharing now a link here on the stream where you can go and visit one of the resources that we have for FastAPI on how to do that with Auth0. And let's jump directly now into the code and see what we did for authentication. All right. So one of the things that we wanted to do when it came to building this demo for ourselves was not starting from scratch, right? So there are one of the nice things about Python is the ecosystem and the libraries that are implemented around the ecosystem. And for authentication, we have already very good libraries. One of them is Auth0. Um, so perhaps, yes, we can also open the Auth0 website there on one of the tabs. So Auth0 is a library that is provider agnostic and supports multiple frameworks in Python from Django, Flask, Starlette, which is what FastAPI is based on. And it contains everything that we need to connect our FastAPI application with our Auth0 account. So we are gonna follow now the example that we did, following the instructions of Auth0. And as just mentioned already, we have everything into a single file, which is the main.py file, and we start with the settings. And I think just you need to follow kind of like what I'm doing on this
Yes,
script.
I
Yeah.
do. How do I follow again?
So that
Okay.
way I can show everybody.
Following.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it didn't crash this time. Look, in our previous stream, this was crashing.
Don't
So we
repeat it
started
three
off
times
by,
because it's going to start thinking it is a challenge and we don't need that.
yeah, I don't want to jinx it, right? Uh, so we started by creating a settings class. This is a way of FastAPI to reading configuration settings. In our case, we're going to be reading configuration settings from our .env file. And in here, we are going to specify a session secret, which is something we are going to use to encrypt our cookies, the Auth0 domain information, the Auth0 client ID, and the Auth0 secret, as well as Auth0 audience. For all of you that you don't know, all this information is available on your Auth0 dashboard when you create a new application. If you have any questions about that, we can please leave a message in the comments, and I'll make sure to also share that part on the Auth0 side of things. Right. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are using a session middleware. This is a package provided by Starlette, which allows us to work with cookies within a FastAPI web application. So it's gonna allow us to read and set cookies, which is gonna be perfect for us to hold our session once the user is authenticated. And next, up from line 48, we start registering the OAuth provider. So the way Auth0 works, because it's platform agnostic, it allows you to customize any platform. It can be a platform like Auth0, which allows you to support multiple social providers, username and password authentication, as well as passwordless flows. But you could also register directly, for example, your social logins like Google or Twitter or GitHub directly using OAuth. In our case, we're going to use Auth0. So we're going to name this instance of OAuth Auth0, and we're going to pass the Auth0 data that we read from the settings, like the client ID, the client secret, and some scopes. Like we want information about the users, so we want to get their open ID, the profile, and the email. And we're going to use that information to show that later on the application. In addition, we need some server metadata URL. This is a standard URL for Auth0 that you always configure the same way using your Auth0 domain /.wellknown/OpenID configuration. All of this is provided in the Auth0 documentation, as well as any other OAuth provider that you may have. I'm gonna skip the protected endpoint, but we are gonna come back to this later. I think it's gonna be important that we do it in that way. And then we started creating our application. Right now, it's kind of like mixed between a web app and also a API. So, for example, our home endpoint, which is the main endpoint, is simply returning a JSON that says "Hello World." So this one is quite easy. There's no authentication to it. And then we are going to have a profile page that I'm going to skip for now. We are going to come back to this one later. But here is where the important or the juice starts, which is the login endpoint. The login endpoint is the first URL that the users are going to go to provide their username and password or to log in through social login providers. It's going to connect our web application with what we call the Auth0 universal login screen. And it is as simple as returning a function call from our OAuth instance to authorize redirect. passing the request that we received from FastAPI. Where do we want to redirect after the user successfully logged in or not, which in our case is going to be our callback endpoint. And then we can pass additional information, like in our case, we are passing in an audience, though this is only an optional parameter. We are probably going to be working with this audience parameter today in the live stream. To see how this works, just perhaps you want to start a new browser window and hit the login endpoint to see what is happening. I think I need to share the server with you. Do I?
Yes, I was about to say that. Like, I got so we are using LivePeer on, what is the name, VS Code, and we discovered that you can actually share one of the ports that the server is running across from like your session to the other person on the other LiveShare side, and then that allows me to see the browser things that one would be seeing if he was developing on his own machine. How do I request that? Do I need to request that?
I think I just did.
Okay, let's see if is the server running? Oh, it is. So this is the home endpoint, the like hello world there, and if you do login, it should redirect us. Oh, show the profile. Yes. So I'm
you were
already
already
logged
logged
in.
in.
I logged in earlier, remember?
All right, we can spoil the logout functionality meanwhile.
So what happens is I logged in earlier and forgot to log out. So there you go. And my session is still active. So it redirected me to the profile page once it checked my credentials. So we can do the logout now, I guess.
Yeah, so similar to the login. So when you hit login, right, we redirect to Auth0, and it is in Auth0 where you provide your credentials or you start your social login flow. And after you are successfully logged in, Auth0 will redirect you back to your application. If you already have a session with Auth0 for that particular application, then you get redirected to the application immediately with all the session information. And this is what happened to Jess. And
Yes.
the same way
Sneaky.
we need to do for the logout. When we do the logout endpoint, we need to go to Auth0. We need to log out the user from Auth0, and then we need to remove the user also from the web application session. So we always need to make sure that we do the 2 steps. Otherwise, when the users click on login, they will get redirected to Auth0 and redirected back to the application immediately without them being able to provide any authentication information. And this is what we do here with this redirect response. We simply form a URL to Auth0, following the logout endpoint, and where we want the users to be redirected back after they log out, which in our case is going to be the home endpoint, which is our index.
Just did that. Why are you talking? Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm back on the home endpoint here. Does that mean if I try to access profile now, it's not going to show anything? Yes, it's not.
Oh, there you go.
Anything from like my user in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying that I'm not authorized, which kind of makes sense because I'm not logged in, so I'm not supposed to be seeing the profile endpoint. At the same time, this is not an ideal answer for a person that is accessing your website. So ideally, instead of showing not authorized, we could show an in-between page saying, oh, you need to log in to see this page, and then redirect that person after a few seconds to the login page, or give them the chance to click login themselves. So this is one of the things that we probably need to fix as part of the
someone did that in
the
a
profile
rush.
and the point. I mean, this was a 1 hour and a half coding session. We came up with something that already works, which is great, but it's not perfect. And I guess people can relate to that.
Yeah,
at least I know
fix it live.
I can.
We'll fix it live so that everybody gets a feeling of what it is, like the adrenaline of working with Python.
Oh my god! I'm so excited. So actually, if I go to login now, we are going to be able to see. I just created my shortcut to make it like half of the page. If I go to login now, we're probably going to redirect to Auth0, and I'm going to be able to see the login page from Auth0 Universal Login. Let's see. Yes, it does.
There we go. That looks familiar.
He does. But side note, Django Quick Start.
Oh, it got spoiled. We are working
Well,
on the Django Quick Start, as you all can see. This
yes,
is
and
hard
I
evidence of it.
yes, and we are doing something that you're probably not supposed to do, which is sharing the same project for something else. But development, sometimes things happen, and I
Mhm.
can continue with Google probably, or I can create my new account, which I should probably do here. Let's do. Do I not have an account on this one? I don't remember if I do or not.
Probably not.
Hmm. What is my one password? I'm not going to create um, a password on the fly because I suck at passwords. So I'm going to use
You
my
need to use
password
a safe.
manager
Yeah, I configured that account with
and
a safe password policy. So yeah.
great. And then we can continue and look here. Since I'm in my Okta environment, so my Okta dashboard is asking to save this. I'm not going to do this for this app ever because it's a demo app and I don't want to keep that in my things. At the same time, is asking my me to authorize this application to have access to my profile. So basically, my email. If it was my personal email, you're probably going to see my photo here from Gmail and Gravatar and those things because it grabs things from the internet all over. And I can accept.
and this is
And
and this is what we are marking, that when we wrote the login endpoint, we specify some scopes
yes,
that we want to use, and we ask the user for specific scopes that relate to user profile information. That's why we were
yes,
seeing that if we want to extend that and ask for additional scopes, like for example read emails, like let's say you are building an email application, you can ask for scopes for reading emails, sending emails,
yes,
deleting emails, and you will see all those authorization requests right there in that pop-up. And
yes.
after you confirm, you get redirected back to the app, which in our case now is being redirected back to the profile page, which is
Weehoo,
this
it works.
beautifully designed web application that
Shh, don't tell
that shows
anybody.
that it shows your user information from Auth0 in a JSON format. But we are gonna
Yes.
fix all of this today.
So basically, all of this information comes from Auth0 and is inside of your user, probably part of your user ID token, but this is already decoded from Auth0 to you. So you can use it whatever way, whichever way you
Mhm.
want. So for example, let's say you want to personalize that profile page and show the user photo on the corner. You can do that by using like this picture value here. This picture key has the value for a image somewhere. In this case, is an image. This is one of the images that Auth0 generates automatically because it couldn't grab like an image, or Gravatar does it. I don't remember exactly how that works, but like it's from Gravatar and you have like that. I guess it's JT for me. We can even double check. Yeah, JE from Jessica. Yeah. Great, it
There you
works.
go.
So basically, you could have information from your user to personalize the profile page.
Yeah,
Today, our profile page is very simple. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
still working on
So
the Jinja part. So let's do
if
that,
if you
please.
take, for example, if you take a look at the code, right, it's super simple. So right now, the profile endpoint that is here, it's just returning a request.session, and inside the session, we are storing the token, which is actually it's multiple tokens, but for now we only care about user information, so user info, which contains the data that just was just describing. Um, but how does the application know, or how do we know what we store in the session, right? So we haven't done actually anything with that, and this is because everything happened too fast. But when we are coming back from Auth0, we get redirected to an callback endpoint. And if we
Yes.
take a look at the callback endpoint, here at the bottom of the screen, um, this is what gets sent back from Auth0 with some authorization codes, and from there we can get a token using, again, the OAuth instance that we created. Auth0. Auth0 is the provider that we registered. Authorize access token. We pass in the request, and it will automatically give us all the tokens that were coming from Auth0. In our case, because we specify OpenID and because we specify as well that we want to get user information, and we provided an audience, we're going to receive an ID token, we're going to receive an access token to call an external API, and we are going to receive the user information, which is the user information is the ID token decoded automatically for us. So those parameters are coming into the token variable, which should be tokens, I guess. And then we decided to store that in session. So this is something we initiated by doing a request of session. We are able to do this because of the session middleware we register at the beginning of the application. And then we simply redirect the users back to the profile page. So for the user, this callback is completely transparent. As soon as they log in from Auth0, they get redirected back to the profile, and they kind of like don't even see that we step through this process unless something goes wrong.
I was thinking we could break this down into 3 pieces, since we have an access token and ID token, access token and ID token, and have the user info as another piece inside of the session, instead of like having everything inside of one thing called token.
Yeah,
I guess that makes more
absolutely.
sense in my head, at least. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it will have an impact in the way we set the cookies. I think we're gonna have like 3 different cookies. I'm not sure what is. Well, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
ID token.
I'm gonna help you here
User
on this side.
Thank you.
This one will be access token. So one of the important things also, the access token is completely optional. Normally, you get an access token when you need to call a third-party API or an external API from this application, which in our case probably is not gonna happen. We're gonna leave this in the example, but we're gonna explain how you can ignore this parameter, how you can ignore providing an audience and not retrieving an access token, because we are not gonna do anything with it right now.
Yeah, and I just updated the profile endpoint as well, because before we had a token that had a dictionary inside of that token that had all of the information, and now we have user info directly. So I'm just using user info directly in the profile. And what is the terminal?
So probably what's going to happen right now, if you try to refresh your page in the profile, right? If you didn't log out,
I didn't.
So
it's supposed to work the same way, right?
We probably broke your session because you're retrieving an object that is probably empty now.
Yes, right? I need to log out and then log in again.
Yeah, you'll have to log out and log in again. So that we now, because we store the session only once.
Yes, and now log in back again, and
there we go.
Oh my god!
And while Jess completes here the information, another thing that you may want to know is, so right now we are storing the session in cookies, and we are storing directly the user information and the tokens in the cookies themselves. You can do that. That's perfectly fine. But you can also opt in to use a service, for example, like Redis, and store the session in Redis, and then just have an ID to the session in the cookies. And that's something that is like Auth0 wouldn't limit you on that. That's on the application side to build, right, where you want to do your session management.
Did I not log in again? Oh my god, it's getting forbidden everywhere. Log out.
Oh, I know why.
I broke something.
Why. So I think it's a good moment to introduce another thing that we did in the profile page. If you go to the profile page where we declare the route, we are also adding a dependency, and this dependency depends on protected endpoint. And you may wonder what protected endpoint is, but if you scroll up to the function protected endpoint, this is simply a FastAPI dependency that checks if token is part of the session, and if it's not, it throws an exception saying that you are unauthorized. And what is happening is token is not anymore a thing. So we can use the ID token or the user info.
We could use user info, but we can also use ID token. I like ID token. I don't know why. Let's keep ID token, but it could be user info. Sorry.
Yeah.
I need to document stuff, otherwise I will forget.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Log out again, and
Well, okay.
then log in again, and it should work. For a second there, I thought my password was wrong, and for some reason it was doing a weird behavior that was not supposed to be doing, and I broke it again. What did I do? Profile. I guess the server didn't refresh because we didn't save. Oh my god! See, developers being developers. Um, should we reload this server?
I can try. So it's
Okay.
reloaded. Just try
So
to. You don't need to log out probably if the session is stored correctly.
yeah, but the session is. I don't think it was correctly. Was it?
Okay.
Login.
Oh, we need to save the file. We need to save the file.
I saved it.
Okay, it was not on my side. So.
Just see. Not on your side. If I save on my side and not save on your side, does not work.
It should, but I had like that little ball. It's still not. So that was not the thing. So we can. So let's try to. I mean, let's debug, right?
Yes, let's debug.
Let's debug the proper way by using print statements.
So
isn't that the right way? When you get to senior developer, you start using prints everywhere.
So earlier today, I told Juan, "Oh, let's try using a debugger called IPDB, which has been like a long time since I used it, and I was missing it." And Juan was like, "Sure, let's do IPDB. It's fine." And then we stopped the session in the wrong way because me, dummy, forgot to tell that, oh, we need to exit IPDB first and then stop the server. If you just quit it, it's going to be still running in the background. And guess what happened? It was running in the background. And then here we go, trying to kill the PID, find the PID to kill the process. So fun. And now Juan is going to be bugging me all the time until I stop using IPDB.
It was actually the right way to do it, but I felt like a user trap in Vim.
How do you quit this thing? I
couldn't restart my server. I had already left the process. I was like, where's the button key?
Exit? It's impossible to exit.
I was about to shut down the computer, but probably not a good thing to do on a live stream.
Yes, instructions unclear. I had to close everything.
The print statement is safer.
Okay. So can I just do profile again?
The profile endpoint and see what's coming in your session.
It is there. Information is there. Session, data, redirect URI. Oh, wait, stop. So we have the session data, but we don't have. Where's the ID token? Are you seeing the ID token?
No, so the session that is created there, I know what is happening now. When okay, it's gonna be a little bit hard to explain, but when we started working on this application, we didn't have a request object the way we just setting it up right now. And when you don't have that and you call the authorized access token, it creates its own session, and it creates a session with information from the request, which is everything that we are seeing there, those states. And you already had that in your cookies probably. So what I would recommend to try and doing is
it a me problem?
I'm not sure. Try to clear the if you go to developer
the
tools,
easy way.
Command Shift I.
Command Shift I.
Like Command Shift I.
Oh no,
not that one.
Command Shift. Oh, see, this is the problem. I don't think I do like this. Okay, I click with the right side and then
inspect. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And now go to the application.
People are going to probably cancel me on the web because of this, but that's how I do it. Okay, I'm going to do this that way because we have very little space. And what do we want to do? close this.
You need to go to the application tab. I think it is application. Yeah, and then click on storage on the third item on the and then clear. There should be like a clear all button.
Clear side data.
Yeah.
Clicking 3 times just to make sure.
All right. I mean.
Okay, so it's something broke. Mismatch and state error. Okay. Let's try the whole flow. Okay, so home page, login, and okay, now it works. Oh, great.
So we broke everything. So we should just kept.
No, now it's working. Yes, we just caching stuff is tough. I'm going to log out and log in again. Just
is it working now?
it was. It's.
I
guess
sound very confident.
Yes. I'm going to log in again just because. Triple check your work stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure that's.
Login, password. Yeah, now it works. Thank you.
It is working. Yeah, it is working for me as well. So.
Yes. Right. Yeah, I guess it was caching the old cookie, not getting a new one. The old cookie, the session thing.
Yeah. Okay, I just removed all our debugging information.
Yes.
And yeah, so well, now that we have the login working and we can retrieve the information about the user, we can start now, because one of the questions the user had, which is where everything originated, was how do you also include templating into this, not just the API, but more like a web application. So we're going to do that next, right? So we are going to use Jinja templates for that.
Me likes Jinja.
So I'm going to stop the server for a minute to install a new package. There we go.
Successful. Oh, that was so fast.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm so used to
I don't
NPM.
Remember. If you do templates inside, yes, it's going to download like the whole internet. But if you're going to do templates in FastAPI, do you do the same way you do in Flask? Do you do like a folder and then templates inside? I don't remember anymore. FastAPI.
Yeah, so we just need to initialize the template. So FastAPI doesn't really provide any special package for it, so we just need to use Jinja too, right? So
yeah, but it doesn't have like a standard structure that is expecting it to be somewhere.
No, right? No, we can define all of that. I mean, it takes all the defaults. So what I'm gonna do here is when we create the application, yeah, you're still following me in the code. I'm gonna initiate the templates with Jinja 2 templates.
Okay.
Which I need to
import,
and then we specify the directory, right? Oh, you're there in the. Okay.
Sorry, I was distracted looking at the documentation because.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm gonna create a new folder, which is gonna be called templates. If I spell that correctly, templates. And let's create one for our. Yeah, let's create one for our index template saying hi.
Oh my god, that was to a P or something.
There we go. That's totally HTML compliant.
Priorities. And if I go back to localhost and do.
Yeah. So theoretically, right, we should also mount static directories, but we can do that later. Like if we want to like have images and that kind of stuff, we should use static templates or static folders. But let's do that next. Let's go now into our home, which is returning to nowadays hello world, and let's return our variable templates .template response. And we need to specify what is the name of the template, which is index.html. And additionally, we can pass a context. We don't have any particular context for this application. So index.html is everything we need to to send.
Okay.
And let's pass it out like an empty dictionary. I think we need to do. And now we can try to
Reload.
reload,
Ooh,
and it's probably
it
gonna
broke
crash.
everything.
Yeah,
I love when things
because
break.
one of the things Jinja will require from us, reading the documentation, is we need to pass a request. So we need to pass the request from FastAPI, which we get from the request variable here in the home function.
Interesting. I learned something
And
new today.
now, hopefully, that should be
It
on. Yes,
works.
we say hi with our perfectly nice template.
I guess
So
I
here
prefer
we
to
can get
have
as creative as we want.
There you go.
Um,
Sorry. I like
yeah,
the
no, but
exclamation point.
that's pretty much the use of it, right? So now we will be like just working with HTML like we are used to. And let's do the exact same thing for the profile page. I'm gonna create a new file called profile. Every time I create a new file in Visual Studio Code, I don't have the focus on the name. So I always need to do
Yeah,
it
and I
first.
don't see it. I only see after you created it.
So now we're gonna do an H2. We're gonna call it profile. Yeah?
Yes.
And we're gonna have a pre followed by a code. I never remember if it's code first, and I think it's the other way around. I think it's first code,
Then the
and then pre.
inside.
Yeah, I think so. And then inside
You
here,
know,
we're gonna show
if you
our
run
user
it and
information.
it doesn't work, then this is the other way around. That's how I do it, because I never remember either. Which is very, very weird thing to say. But that's how I do it.
All right, so I think the variable name was like this, right? User info.
No. Well,
It was all
we
lower,
haven't defined
lower
it.
letters.
Yes, all lowercase.
Okay,
But it's
we'll keep
inside
it
of the
like
session. So I guess we need to pass
yeah,
the session along to the thing.
yeah. So we're gonna copy everything that we did for home, and we're gonna use it on the profile page. And we're gonna pass request as the variable, as the context, and we are also gonna pass user info,
Wait,
which is
where
gonna
is
be
your
our request
oh,
at user info. And our
oh,
template
you're
should
doing like
be
that? Okay. Never mind.
yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah. So because we are passing also the request, we have access to the session variable, but I always prefer to be a little bit more explicit. Because in case we decide to
instead of
change this
doing like
later, I don't
request
want to go
code
into the
session, blah
templates.
blah blah. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like being in the templates. Like, I think this
It makes
code
very
belongs
long. Yeah.
to the view. Yeah, it belongs to the view, and it doesn't belong to the template. So,
Okay. I guess
so now
that'll
if you
work.
go to the profile page, hopefully,
I'm hopefully still logged in. It does work. Oh
yeah,
my god.
there we go, and it's beautifully formatted.
Yeah, super. Yoo-hoo. It's
Yeah.
great.
So let's do something about it, right? So let's just be a little bit. Uh,
Oh my god. It
let's
has
create
been a
a
while since I saw
title,
this.
my profile, right? And then let's create a body. And then we put all of this in the body.
In the body.
I don't like normally to do that intended. Okay, so we do it
Yeah,
like
my
this.
indentation is always like two height, like two spaces, not for HTML for some reason.
Yeah.
In my
Then
head,
we're
that
gonna do
makes sense.
label, username. Let's wrap that in a div. And then we
Now
are
you can see
gonna
one having fun with HTML.
yeah. Let's see how much I can remember. All right, and then we're
Dude,
gonna
you were
do
way better than me. I didn't even remember the pre stuff. So I guess we're good.
user info, and then we are gonna use something here.
Do you want the name?
Probably
The name is the email.
the name.
Nickname.
Yeah, look at
Nickname is
that.
better.
Look how easy it is. All right, let's try that again. Let's give it another try. Oh, nickname. Okay.
Yeah, I like that one more. Because usually it's either the first part of the the email of the person.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
like
So
change
Auth0,
it to something else.
yeah, unless the user explicitly provides a name, Auth0 is going to take the first part of the email as a nickname. Yeah, there we go. So that looks a little bit better.
Isn't it cute? Oh, let me zoom in. Way better.
Yeah, there we go. Another nice thing that we could do if we wanted to.
So I want to do one
Theoretic.
thing. Can we
Yeah.
do on the index file, do the, like we would do, for example, the links to go to a given,
Yeah, of course.
a given, like go into the profile, click here, log in, click there, kind of thing.
Yeah. And another thing I want to do to the profile, but let's focus first on the home, and then we go back to the profile. It's that token. It doesn't look nice. It's just one line, right? That's why it's kind of like awkward to read. So we can pre-format that, right? So we can pre-format it and send it back to the client, formatted so that it looks like a proper JSON structure and not just like a
That's
one line.
nice. Okay, I'm going to save this a little bit just so that we can. Oh, wrong page. I like this. Sorry. Let's finish the profile, then we go back and implement the links in the home, and then we can implement the links in the profile after that. I guess that sounds like a plan. Does it sound like a plan to you? Juan?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Joey, any questions, Joey? You're very quiet. I'm not used to quiet,
I
Joey.
still need a FastAPI.
What did you say? FastAPI?
I am new to FastAPI.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Joey mostly does mobile nowadays, anyways, right, Joey?
Yeah, basically mobile Little Flask, and most of my Python lives in Jupyter notebooks.
I miss Jupyter notebooks a little bit. Okay, let's just make this look nice and break into profile. Break into little lines so that it looks nicer and it doesn't go like all the way over to China by the end of the page.
Let's see if we can do that, right?
I don't remember how to do that, to be honest.
It's not as straightforward as you might think. No, so there are two ways to go about this, right? So we can do that on the template by injecting functions in the template. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but that's how it works, right? So you need to we can create, for example, a to pretty JSON function, and then inject that function as a filter in Jinja too, and then we can call that function from the template.
All right.
As a filter, right? So that's one way. And the other way is to format in the view and then pass the format information already in the view, which is the easiest way, right? So
I
if
like
I
that
go,
way.
for example, all right, let's go the simple way for now. There's really no right or wrong, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, so right now we are passing the user information here, but we are not formatting or anything with that. So we can, instead of that, we can return JSON. I think we need to import JSON.
We do.
And then we can do, I never remember. I think it's dumps. Right?
Dumps. I guess it's dumps because
we are gonna take
this the S in the end is for the string part.
Right. So we're gonna take the object, and then as the second parameter, we are gonna use a lambda function, and then we are gonna obtain all the dictionary from the object, and we are gonna apply an indentation. It's gonna be 4. Did I do that correctly?
No. Is this 0 supposed to be a 0? Or is it supposed to be a
no?
Okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I know lambdas are weird, but not that weird.
It's like my brain's not working. Okay, so basically this lambda function is going to pass along the dictionary that is in the JSON thingy.
Yeah.
And
then
do
it's
a
gonna
indentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that should.
So it's supposed to work now, right?
It's supposed to work. Boom.
Nope.
Dams takes one positional. Okay, I made something.
So you were trying to do JSON dumps to do the lambda function inside of JSON dumps?
Oh, there we go. It takes, yeah, because it takes only one positional argument and the other argument needs to be named.
Oh,
Yeah,
look
there we
at
go.
that. That's cute. I like this.
Yeah, but if you take a look into it, right, we broke the username. And the reason why we broke the
We
username is
did.
because
Oh my
now
God.
this is not an object anymore. This is just a string with little lines. It always has its pros and cons. So
can we do two objects?
We can do two objects. We can have one with the user info, raw user info, and we have one with the formatted user info, right? So
the pretty user info, yes, formatted one.
This one will be, is that how you spell formatted? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have user info, and user info is going to be simply request session at user info. And if we put that comma correctly, and now we need to change the profile, the template.
Oh yeah,
say
makes sense.
Display here formatted user info. And if I spell that correctly twice,
you did.
There we go.
Congratulations, Johan.
And this is looking fun. This is looking awesome already, right?
Yes, we could start off saying username, saying hi, Jessica, or something.
Yeah, we can do that. Then let's just do it on just one line. There we go.
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, Serial Crusher, you're here. Oh, sorry, people. Hi. So I was just before we joined this live stream, and I went to my meeting, which became my live stream. I was just at Serial Crusher live stream. He was uploading some Python code for a bot that he has onto GitHub. Hello, Jazz. Just wanted to say thanks for the help today. I see you were playing with FastAPI. Yes, I am playing with FastAPI. I'm so happy about this. So context for you, Serial Crusher, and anybody that joined later is that there is this developer on Twitter that was asking for help on how to integrate FastAPI and Jinja templates and use Auth0 for social connections. So me and Juan were building earlier today a application, sample application that we could share with him, because I don't know exactly in which part of the process of creating that application the developer is stuck. So we thought, let's do a sample application, very simple, that has some Jinja templates and has like a FastAPI code in the backend to both serve the Jinja templates as a page and do the authentication and authorization flows that is needed. So I thought, like, let's build this simple app, share that with him, and then we can use the simple app and do like maybe a blog post and a developer guide and so on. So here we are trying to finalize the sample code for this thing and hopefully help somebody figure out how they can use FastAPI and Auth0 more easily and get unstuck, I would say. Thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I hope everything went well with your uploading your code to GitHub earlier. Anyways, yes. So now we have the profile page, which is showing hi. It's personalized to my profile. The only thing that I think that is missing here is a logout button that we can do.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that we are doing, which is not fantastic, is we are recreating the whole HTML all the time.
Yes.
We don't have any kind of like base
We're not
template,
importing
right?
stuff. Yes.
But yeah, we can focus for now on the profile page. Like we can add.
I would say let's add the nav bar. Add the links to people for people to like.
I mean, we can always create like a file and then just like include the template,
and then we can make it pretty at another point in time.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have a HTML for navbar. It's just called nav. It's not called navbar.
It's nav. Yeah.
Yeah, and then inside nav we can have links. And so right now I'm gonna just add all the links that we're gonna need. So login is gonna be pointing to /login and logout is going to be pointing to slash logout.
Logout. Oh, so
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 this
simple.
is functional in a way, kind of. Maybe we just not so that is not so terrible. We do display flex, and we do gap of, I don't know, sure 10 pixels. All right, so let's see those buttons over there. Yeah,
Oh
there
my
we go.
God.
Beautiful.
Like magic. Can I log out? And it works. Oh, this
And
is
it works.
amazing.
You cannot log in back, but
Love it. Yeah. So let's do the same thing inside of the homepage.
yeah. Yeah. Let's try to be let's try to import
Do you want to do like the nav bar, put in a separate template and import it?
Yeah, I was about to say, because these are
yeah.
tables.
Yeah, with an include. I think we need an include function. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new file, and I'm gonna call it the navbar.html.
You're doing it? Can I? Yes. Okay. So you did it. Okay.
There we go.
Oh yeah, sorry. And I'm gonna
it's
navbar
fine.
there. And doesn't anyone remember the syntax to include? I think it's just include.
You just include in the HTML, navbar.html.
Just like this, right? It passes all the context. Okay.
It is supposed to. Profile.
By the way, I have to drop out, but I took notes. I know a little more at FastAPI now, so thanks very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Joey.
Thank you, Joey. Nice of you to be here for a little while.
Okay, well, good being here, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So let me log in again and see. Oh God. Oh no. What did we break stuff? Do I need to clear my cache again? Inspect and then application, clear site data, and then if I do login.
Yeah, so perhaps what we need to do is is to clear your session in the callback.
Yes, I guess we are not clearing the session when people log out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the number is there, so I guess it's a good sign.
All right. Yeah, so that works. So what we need to do now is
go into here and add that.
Yes. Yeah, you need to do that as well. Yes.
And if I go to home.
Yeah, so we can have another.
Oh my God! If I click login again, it breaks. If I'm already logged in, what the hell? Sorry, I'm not supposed to be saying that. Jesus. Okay, so this is home, and if I click login, internal server. Okay, what did I break? Was it me?
But you are in the callback, right?
So I clicked logged in only.
But right now you're on the callback page. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I went to home, and then if I go to profile, this is profile. If I go home, okay. But if I click login, it breaks. I guess we need to put like a session checker if it already has a session when you log in, redirect.
Yeah, probably. But I
so do like a if something.
Yeah, I tried to clear the session though.
Let me try to do this. So if not, if it doesn't have a section, do the login process. Otherwise, redirect. Where is the redirect part?
Yeah, it's getting an issue obtaining the access tokens. Yeah, I think it's the best way. Yeah.
Redirect to profile. Where's the login? Login. Oh my God. Protected, login, home, profile, login. And then return.
Well, we should do it in the
this works, right?
Yeah, that works, but we should do it on the callback in case someone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. It's me, and it's me, Jess, not Mario, and Juan. Hi, Corbin.
Hi.
How you doing? So Corbin is actually part of Unicorn Uttersus and also GitHub Star. There's a lot of live streaming doing JavaScript stuff. And hi Corbin. It's very nice to see you here. Usually we stream at very different hours, so we never cross paths on me streaming and he being online or something. Sorry. Hi. Okay, going back.
Right.
Sorry, geeked out a little bit.
All right. So right now we have a bunch of links, right?
Yes.
But we are already logged in. So having the
Yes.
login button there doesn't make any sense.
But what I
and when
did
you
work,
are
I'm
logged
very
out,
happy about that one.
yeah. And when you are logged
Sorry.
out, having the logout button also doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
So we
We
should
can hide
do
it.
conditional rendering on those links.
Yes. And we can put
And
that inside of the not by HTML, right?
Yeah. So we can do it here.
So for context, for people that don't know me, Juan, we did a live stream last week on doing conditioning of the HTML, the page thing for Flask and Auth0. So if you're curious about that, you can check that out. Also uses Jinja. And I'll put the link here somewhere soon. And we already covered this over to Flask. So we're basically doing the same thing, because if we remove like the backend part, Flask or FastAPI, it doesn't really matter, because the thing in Jinja is going to be almost the same thing, which is you check for the session. If it is there, you don't show something or show something based on that session. Let's see if I can find that live stream from, what is it? 1 week ago. I should probably have thought about having this link ready. Yes, I should, but I forgot. And I apologize in advance for this. I'll do better next time. And another side note is I'm on my work computer. I'm not logged into my own YouTube channel, which is kind of funny, isn't it? I think so, at least. Okay, share, copy, and for okay, so Corbin just asked. This might be a little tangential, I guess, like going on a tangent, but I'm curious, since I've never used Python with a front-end framework. Can you mix and match FastAPI and React and Vue? Yes. Yes, for sure. You can mix and match FastAPI, Flask, Django, whatever backend you want to do with Python, because we have like FastAPI, we have Flask, we have Django, and many others like Clone and Pyramid and other ones, with any part of front-end JavaScript-y thing you want to do. So for example, for me, one of the challenges that I have for next year is that I want to learn one JavaScript framework for the front-end part, which, by the way, Corbin has a book on front-end books. Corbin, please put your link in chat and I will share with people. Only one, yeah, put all three. Corbin is a very prolific writer. And I'm thinking of learning one of them. Haven't figured out which one yet, but I'm very prone to Vue because I like the way he's spelled and sounds. And I know this is not a good reason why to choose that one, but I like it. It's 3 little letters. It's just very nice. And this is the book from Corbin, Framework.guide. Well, everything you can find everything there. Just check it out. It's great. And my pleasure, Corbin. Thank you very much. So for the live stream from last week, for those that like Flask, you can check out the one here. I'm going to publish. This one is on YouTube. And I guess we are probably going to be doing more live streams throughout the weeks from now till probably end of January around authentication, Flask, FastAPI, and so on, because we have a few projects on these things. Comment from Corbin is Vue is great and mixes well with non-node backends. from what I've heard, Laravel community loves Vue. Yeah, so not that I'm a Laravel person, but that's one of the reasons why I saw that a lot of people have been using Vue mostly to have that as the front end from a different backend that is not node based. So I thought like, maybe this Vue might be my gateway JavaScript thing, And because I really suck at the front end part, for me is like very hard to get things done on the front end side without help. So I'm thinking I need to get my things, together and figure out one framework that works for me. And I guess Vue could be the one. Anyways, but that's only me thinking. I don't know. Juan, do you have a preference on React?
I used to like React a lot more
Mhm.
because it was, I don't know, I guess it was simpler, or I don't know. But now with the whole Next.js world, well, it's not just a front end, it's not just a front end framework anymore, but also like contains backend, and it's architecturally way more complicated than it used to be. I always liked React because it was so easy to teach people, and now it's so complicated thanks to Next.js.
Yep.
Yeah, probably yeah, Vue or Svelte. The thing is, Svelte, I love it, but it's not as popular as it is Vue. So
Do you want to know one that I saw the other day that I don't understand, so I haven't looked into if it is very like backend opinionated or not? It was Astro, because I saw like a lot of people using Astro now and liking it. So I haven't figured out.
It's good for building content. Like if you want to create like a blog or something like that.
Yeah. And let's be honest, like the way that I'm doing these things is mostly thinking about like I need a use case to build something, right? So I have a few ideas in my drawer of ideas, my visual drawer of ideas. And one of the things that I keep thinking is, oh, maybe I can rebuild my blog. That's never a good idea because you're never going to be done with it. And you'll have like a real application now, because today is just a simple page served on GitHub and with Jekyll, and I'm not even ashamed. It works. It is there. People can find the content, so I'm not even worried. But it could be better.
Yeah,
so
but yeah.
Corbin is being challenging. Challenge is I don't think React is any more complex than Vue, Angular, or Svelte. It's just React raises the complexities of a front end more than others. Okay, so it's more like vocal about the complexities. But the problem is that Vue, Angular, and other ones, code base isn't as complex as React. You are likely missing edge cases for reducing performance, performance, and others. And so unicorn utterances, I guess we can put that here somewhere. Unicorn utterances. And so UU that Corbin's mentioning is Unicorn Utterances, which is a very nice community, all in all. The redesign with Astro took us like a year, all said and done. Yeah, so my point is, I'm coming from a non-JavaScript focused framework way of building pages, which is Jekyll, and basically markdown based thing. And I don't see any code for the front end part unless I want to change something on the CSS or change the way the buttons work for some reason. And it follows along with Liquid, which is very similar to Jinja for Python, and it's kind of the same kind of thing. And so me coming from a place where I don't do anything that is even similar to a JavaScript framework to something that is a JavaScript framework, I'm trying to have like the shortest learning curve I can. For arguing Juan, I'm just argumentative fellow at times. Yes. But it's good because
it's so good. It's so good.
Multiple
I always love that.
We love that. So yes, it's very nice. One of the reasons why I actually go to Corbin's live streams, and if you're not following Corbin, you should, is that he always explains really well why he's saying the things he's saying and what are the points against and the points for his arguments, which is great for me. That like I'm not a JavaScript person, it's very nice way to see the world from a JavaScript perspective. Anyways, going back to code because we went on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Python. What is Python?
Let's oh my god, Python. After a lot of JavaScript. Okay, so we basically did the rendering of things based on having a session, which is using checking whether the session is present in the request session here that we have access on the what is the name of this thing? The template. And if the session is present, show profile and logout. If it's not present, show login. So since I'm logged in, I'm going to see profile and logout. If I go to home, I'm going to see profile and logged out. And if I go to profile, it's just seeing that. So I'm going to log out. And now I can see back home the login page. And I can log in.
And hopefully works.
Hopefully we didn't break anything this in the middle of all of this conversation, which is kind of funny. I love this so much. And it works. Oh my God.
There we go.
Great job. Great job, everybody. we did it. That's great.
It is a fully functional web app.
Okay. Thank you. I do think that's you. One of the reasons why I work here is because I totally agree it's an awesome service. And it is. Everything auth related, authentication, authorization, doesn't matter which one you want. With Auth0 is much faster, much easier. But in this case, what we did is we coded everything into the application part, like the backend part. And thank God Jinja exists and makes it is an ad. It is there. It's going to stay there for a while now. And we basically can include everything from what we want into the template. I'm not sure if this is going to help out the developer, our friend that needed help with Jinja and Auth0, but my guess is this is going to help out a little bit. So one of the things that I like to do is I'm going to add a little comment here and say, this is how you conditionally, and mind you, English is not my first language. So sometimes I need to spell things out like I read them instead of how they are pronounced. Keep that in mind. Display information based on having a session.
So one thing we should do is we should have Jinja comments because that will go into the HTML.
What do you mean?
Like if you look at the view source of the page, now you'll see your HTML comment. Normally I recommend using like Jinja comments.
Yes.
Which I don't remember the syntax, but if I have to guess, something like this.
It's not there. Yeah. Oh, do you mean like have the comments? Okay. I got it. I got what you meant. So no, it shows like this. Oh, so you can have the comments without showing up on the page.
Right.
Because the Jinja code is not
really
going to
relevant. It's like if you're in an ideal world, that's not really your comments are not really relevant for the page. Like they shouldn't be there.
Okay, so side note, I never knew Jinja had comments because I never comment on things on Jinja because usually I want the codes to show up for people that are looking to the source code of the whatever that is. But thank you. Today I learned Jinja has comments. Yay, everybody. Look at that. Senior developers also learn stuff on the fly. Isn't that fun?
Oh, we are learning all the time. I was learning stuff myself today as well. So,
yes. Yeah. Like, for example, since this is probably the first time that we are doing authentication on a FastAPI server, especially because Auth0, which is the library we are using to do the authentication part, added support to, what was it? Starlet and FastAPI.
Yeah.
Yes, Starlet and FastAPI.
Well, it is really Scarlet.
Yes, underneath the hood, right? Is the
well, if you click on the FastAPI, that does nothing.
Yeah, because the FastAPI uses Starlet underneath, anyways. So it's kind of the same thing. See, it's Starlet, even if it's FastAPI. Okay, Sorry, that wasn't signed up there. So now we can do that in a easy way because of it. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And for
how
me
we
was
have
also
the
for
things.
me was also
Yes.
the first time that I read a web app with FastAPI, because I always did it only for APIs.
Me too. Oh my god, yes, me too. I'm so excited. Ah, this is so amazing. Because you were doing Flask. This also means that we can do this is already clearing, right?
Yes.
I can remove this to do.
Yeah, we can remove this too. There is still one thing that we need to do, but I'm still debating myself about it, which is when you try to access the profile endpoint and you are logged out. We are
Yes.
returning a 403 with a message that says unauthorized.
Oh yeah. So if I log out and I go to endpoint, let's say I know this app really well, so I can do profile. It says not authorized. So ideally, we should redirect somebody from not seeing this, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we need to return. The thing is, we should return a 403. So the status code should be 403.
Yes.
But we should now have a template response.
For 403.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
That is a good question. Because right now it's very easy. Because if you take a look to the main pie, whenever we have the protected endpoint, which is a dependency, right? We implemented this as a dependency. We are raising an HTTP exception, right? And FastAPI knows that if any dependency raises an HTTP exception, it bubbles up, and then it transforms automatically in an error page. But now, if you render a template, if I do return of a template, I'm not really sure that will be the end of it. I think it's gonna still continue executing the profile endpoint, because the dependency is returning the rendering of the template. But
so
it doesn't stop
profile
execution.
has the protected endpoint thing, but it doesn't stop the execution. It shows this thing, right?
Right now, it stops the execution because we are raising an exception, right? An HTTP exception. But if we don't raise the exception, it's gonna continue with the profile function code. So we need to find a way in the dependency. We need to break it. The dependency needs to break this code, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to put if conditions. We don't want to put if statements inside the profile page to say if the session is there, do this.
Which is the thing that I did earlier, right? That if they're like if the ID not token request session.
I mean, we are doing redirects, which is fine. If we want to do a redirect, that's fine. Like if we want to do a redirect to the login page, that will be fine. But in this case,
so what are the options? We can either show the 403 page, or we can show we can do a redirect.
Probably there is a way. We need to try it. Because I never work with templates and FastAPI. I don't know if it's gonna work.
We are all learning here today. It's going to be fun. Yeah. The way that I would do it is probably just redirect people to the login page. If they try to access profile by any chance, because there is no profile button anymore, so that's not happening anyways. And just so you know, I have 20 minutes and then I have to drop off because I have French class. So I would say let's do the redirect. If they're not logged in, redirect them to whatever.
So you can if you want, you can change here, and we can just redirect the users to the login.
Yes.
You need to do a redirect response. Oh, you can copy and paste from.
Where are you? Are you doing it, or am I doing it?
Oh yeah. Well, I can do it. Yeah. So
I'm following you, so that's why I'm asking, because otherwise we would have to start.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So where is it? HTTP exception.
How many developers do you need to make a web app redirect somebody?
So if we return a redirect to the login page, let's see if that works, because I'm not sure that in the order of priorities.
Something broke.
That's not good.
Wait. Let me do the.
Yeah, because it is still processing. That's the thing
Let
with
me do the
dependencies,
right
right?
thing, okay? So this is home endpoint. If I click login, it's going to take me to the login page. I don't want to do that. If I do profile, internet server error.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because the dependency. So because we are returning, the dependency is returning a redirect response, but it's not the route that is returning the redirect response. It is just the dependency.
Makes sense. And then he tries to run the little login process here.
Yeah, so we need to do a redirect from a dependency. FastAPI.
Can we do that?
I need to Google it.
Let's Google. FastAPI with
Yeah, the second vision is closed. Closed is promising.
Is this one that you were looking at? Just make sure people are looking at the same thing we are looking.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Okay,
it's very hard to read though from your screen.
Sorry. I'm zooming in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this issue was moved to a discussion. Good. How can I get return redirecting a dependency to be executed in a condition though? Okay. So login. I guess the person is probably trying to do the same thing we are. Similar. And then dependency logged in.
Yeah, it's very similar to our use case.
Yes. Okay, this works, but I have to put in every single endpoint. Yes, you do. Which kind of makes sense. If you were like protecting with Auth0 and using Flask, you would have like it requires auth kind of thing. Guy on Gitter, help me with this.
Oh wait.
This doesn't make sense. The trick's not to return the redirect, just call it. Oh. So instead of returning it, calling it? Direct from the dependency? Like here? Instead of return, just redirect?
Perhaps. I don't know. Let's try. I'm skeptical.
But this is like a function, and you still have to return something when it's a function, no?
Right. We are anyways calling the function. But that gives me.
Okay, can we can raise the HTTP exception after?
What happens if we do this? Because we have headers here, right? That we can specify.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit to the right. Let me bring it in the screen. Because we can specify headers. I could say that I want a header called location. And location should be /login. So we are still raising the 403, but we are also redirecting. Yeah. I'm not sure what it should be a 403 anymore. It should be a temporary relocation.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but can you see if it set up the header in the response, like on the network tab of?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Document.
Poetry.
You need to click on the document.
Wait. Just refreshing to make sure we don't have anything old.
You need to click on the first one.
I'm trying. Oh God, what did I wait?
What happened?
Give me a second. I clicked 2 times and it kind of like opened everything.
Oh, okay. And then response headers. Is there anything there with location?
Response headers. Location login. Yes, it's here. I can see it. As well as the cookie.
But then you should have, why is it not?
It's because it's not going to redirect from there, right? I guess we need to do something else. No, can we do it instead of doing that one? Yes.
307. It's not
307.
307. 307 is temporary redirect. I don't know. Maybe you can Google it quickly.
Yeah.
HTTP
Jesus.
redirects.com.
307 temporary redirect. Yes. Oh my God, how
Yeah.
you remember that? I never remember that. I always have to double check.
I only remember a few, like 200, 201 for created.
Yes, 200 and 201.
307,
Yes.
301.
I remember 401, 404. The 300s I struggle with. I guess
I
that's
always
my problem.
confuse 401 with 403, which I shouldn't at this point.
I also like the 400 as well, the by request one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So 307. Fine. Okay,
That,
he redirected.
there we go.
That was it. So we don't
Yeah.
need this one.
No, we don't need
And
it.
we can redo, like, so this is the rail not authorized. So this will
There is
should
a
I
better
do
way
what?
to do that.
How
307.
would,
I will look to it.
yeah, but now it works at least.
Because FastAPI has the status code mapped in an enum or something.
Oh yeah, like the HTTP status dot something, or
Yeah,
HTTP
I never
status
remember what it is.
207.
Status.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can import from FastAPI. We can import status. And then 307. So now we can do status dot HTTP 307 temporary redirect. Nice. Huh?
And then we can do protected endpoint dependency on everything, like profile, like we did here.
Well, the only one that really needs it is the profile right now, right?
Yes, which was the to do, and now we fixed the to do, right?
Yeah.
That is great.
I guess you can say you could protect the logout if you want, because it doesn't make sense to call logout if you're not logged in.
Yes, we
But
can
it
do
also,
that.
yeah, it also doesn't make sense to redirect the user to the login to log out.
Yeah, no. So we probably could have like two different dependencies, one for logout and one for login. But I guess that's fine. I guess this is like a working app. We can continue working on improving this, like in the next live stream.
Yeah, I mean that's harmless, right? Because if you're logged out and you call log out, it will not do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, but any other page, like if we want to have like an admin panel or any other,
because the logout already redirects you, anyways.
Yeah,
it's going to send the request to Auth0. If you're logged out, fine. It's going to redirect you to whatever the callback is, and in this case, the callback is returning people to
the homepage,
the profile. But since we don't have like a session, it's going to redirect you back to home. Isn't that the way that goes?
Well, the logout doesn't hit the callback. The logout redirects you directly to your home.
Directs to the. No, but doesn't the logout go back to the callback?
No,
it goes directly back to the home.
If you look at the logout.
Yeah. Never mind. Yes.
That's why we need to clear the session in here, and we don't do it in the callback.
Yes, makes sense. Okay, I guess we are done. This is a working copy. Okay, so do you want to commit this to GitHub somewhere so that we can share that with that person?
Yes. I think now we have multiple files.
Yes.
So
I was going to do a gist with the main API, but I guess with the templates, it's better if we do
if you can prepare, I'll create a repository now.
Yes, and .env.
I put it in my account.
Don't want. And I'm going to add a .env dot example. And we have the things here. And in example, okay, wait, I'm going to do this the smart way. Okay, get ignore.env save. We don't have a, this is not a get thing yet. So I guess that's it. We made it. We have a simple code working.
Yeah,
Oh my God, amazing.
it was fun. So the only thing that I have left to do now is to commit, and yeah, I'm gonna share the link to the repository on social media, and then maybe you can.
Yeah, you can share that with me, and I can also drop that for that the developer that was asking for help earlier, or you can reply to him.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it. I have French class in 8 minutes, and I would love to do a bio break. Before that, grab some water, grab some snacks. I love my snacks. Thank you, Juan, for joining me for this impromptu. Thank you, everybody that joined and watched us trying to
Thank you,
debug this
everybody.
live. It was very nice to see you. If you like this kind of live streams, usually I live stream every Friday in the mornings, EST, so around 10 a.m. Check out, we have a bunch of live streams scheduled. Probably the only thing is my Friday live streams usually are only on Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can go on Twitch to watch me. And usually for the Friday live streams, I keep things to identity related topics. So like Flask and FastAPI and authentication and authorization with Auth0 as much as possible. If you have questions, please bring those to the live streams. If you have feedback on the things that we've done, if you have strong feelings of you did that wrong, please tell us. We love to hear that feedback. And stay safe and join us for the next live streams we do. Oh, by the way, we are thinking about doing something for Advent of Code next month. Well, starting this Friday, but we are probably doing that starting next week. I already have something scheduled on YouTube, and I already put something on the schedule for Twitch as well. In any case, if you have more questions, if you want to try out Auth0 and see if you can figure out anything, let me know. If you have any questions, me and Juan are here for you. Thank you so much for joining. Juan, in last words, we are probably going to put, since this is already going to be stored on Twitch and YouTube, we are going to put the code, sample code, into a repo and put that on the description of the live stream. Hi, Aleph. Aleph is a friend of mine back from Brazil. You just joined for the end of the live stream. Catch the recap soon. And I will post the recap on my social network as well. So you can watch out for that if you missed it and want to check it out. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Juan.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Ending stream. Boink.